Arthur promised us safety on these shores. Instead, we found stormy seas, rocks like shark teeth, and treacherous mists. Those few who managed to land will be set by hunger, cold, and nightmares born of weirdness. My people settled around a gnarled old statue. Though we did not understand its origin or purpose, the enemy seemed to avoid it. That was good enough. For a time. In the end, the winds of weirdness only grew stronger, and the statue failed to protect the settlement. There was fear, despair, and then nothingness, as reality melted around us.
You awake to nothingness. All you can sense is darkness, a dense mass of emptiness so total that even your thoughts disintegrate. Then you hear whistling. An eternity seems to pass before something materializes in the darkness with you. Something angry.
Damn it, you weren't supposed to land here. Damn it all to hell.
The creature pauses for a moment, clearly weighing up some options. He taps a finger against one of his horns.
Now, listen, there's a lot to do and no time to waste. What can we try? Perfect. You can speak, and yes, these are really great questions. No easy answers, though. Sorry to disappoint. Now, listen closely. Are you ready? Brace yourself, because what I'm going to tell you is rather important. You're gone. Your village is gone. Everything you've ever known is gone. Yes, everything and everyone, including your very own self, as I mentioned already. However,
the creature taps two hooves together, marking a dramatic pause.
There is a small chance, an infinitesimally tiny chance, really, to bring it all back. You were saved from death in order to keep your reality from falling apart. But, well, it's not going to be easy. First, we must ensure that you're in good enough condition to actually do anything. Which brings us to the problematic part, your body.
You squint down at your feet and hands in the darkness. They seem perfectly fine.
Oh no. Oh, goodness me, no. That's just an illusion. I had to get you here somehow, didn't I? Otherwise, you'd start talking about the afterlife and whatnot. And this, my friend, is not an afterlife. This is a total mess. But let's see what we can do. Here, this little trick should get us started at least. Well, it seems your soul isn't strong enough to be picky about its vessel yet. Don't worry, you'll grow. Now, we need to see whether my little trick actually worked.
The goat weaves his fingers in an intricate series of gestures. With a final flourish, he conjures a terrifying creature into the emptiness.
Aha, here we go. This is a powerful Avalonian warlock. But don't worry, he's not really here. Not in the truest sense. Your goal here is simple. Fight. Show me that you've got what it takes. Should have seen that coming. It was optimistic of me to expect you to beat it on your first try, but don't worry. Like I said, you'll grow. I'm going to send you to a very special place now. It's a mirror of your reality, located in an endless loop between life and death. You won't die there, but nothing's really alive there either. You'll wake up in a place resembling your own village. You'll find a man there whose task it is to help you on your journey. Your main objective for now will be to push onwards, survive, kill the 4 guardians. Then we'll talk. Listen, it's been 4 years since humans landed on these shores. 4 years of strife, fear and hunger. At least that's what you tell yourselves. And 4 years of war you were destined to lose, because even the mightiest human wizards are no match for the Avalonians.
Seeing your expression, it makes an impatient grimace, stepping from one foot to the other.
The war you brought here? Well, it wasn't exactly going in your favour. But then that wizard, Merlin? Well, he had an idea. Your king, Arthur, he had another brilliant idea. Both stubborn mules, both playing with powers they didn't understand and were never meant to understand. And so we're here, in this corrupted reality, strung together with the last strand of somebody's goodwill.
Where your hometown once was, a lone man sits among the remains. He doesn't notice you. Only when you walk right up to him, he turns his blank stare toward you.
It's not my farmhold, is it? I'm from up north, the land of fog. I don't know what happened.
At least that's one thing you have in common.
A creature that looked like a goat told me I'd wake up in a strange place, and that I'd find someone in need of my help there.
The man looks at you for a moment.
I've already made some preparations and settled in one of the tents here. I can't offer you much at the moment, though. This place is different. But you? I've seen an enormous creature out there, a golem of stone. The evil energy it emits is beyond anything I've ever felt. I'd say getting rid of that beast would be a good start.
Right now, this building is an abandoned ruin. However, during your travels, you might find someone who'd be willing to settle in here and help you with your quest. Right now, this building is an abandoned... Right now, this building...
I don't remember, and I don't know what I'm doing here, or how I got here. All I know is I'm supposed to be helping you with your quest. All I know for now is that you need to find the rest of the people who are supposed to join us and help them out in their troubles. I don't know. Maybe it will come back? Maybe there's something that could trigger my memories.
Caught you before you went out, all on your lonesome. Our mutual friend already told you to slay the stone golem. Perfect. The golem is just a start, though. Even if you do manage to kill it, the further you go, the more dangerous the road will become. And since we're talking roads, you're walking within the weirdness now, and it's dangerous. Take these candles, light them up, and try not to let this damned fog close around you. Got it? Oh, and before you face the golem, look around the area. There's a blacksmith nearby who might be willing to join your village. Finding people like him will be crucial for your survival. Each one will be helpful in a different way. And with that, I'm out. Good luck.
It's a mystery why these stones light up and banish the weirdness when people walk by. Many believe Merlin himself invented the runes carved into them. There's also a darker rumor that they were left by the Four-Dwellers to lure humans into their domain, like moths to the flame. As the flickering light of the weird A song breaks through the slithering of the weirdness.
I have no hope, no home, no gold. Mine is but misty morning cold.
Not long afterwards, you come upon a man wearing a blacksmith's apron.
Oi, traveller. Want to buy a good anvil? 'Tis all I have, I'm afraid. Me home, you see, went poof. 1 minute there, next minute gone. I found myself here, with this lump of iron for company. I swear to gods it started talking to me not long ago. Oh, no. I left that life behind quite a while ago. All I'm interested in these days are rune stones. Yes, containers for the magic of giants. Even though you'll usually find them broken, they're extremely powerful. You can use them to enhance your weapons or armor. They will influence your abilities in different ways. Also, when you find 3 of the same kind and rarity, you'll be able to fuse them together. This will make them even more powerful. Here, let me give you some. You can try it later. I'd say that since you know what you're looking for, you should be able to find more of them out there. By the way, you want me in your village? Well, you must first prove you can take care of yourself. Kill 10 bears and... just fooling, for pity's sake. What would I need 10 bears for? Show me the way.
Deep within the weirdness, you cross paths with an elderly knight who's clearly trying to scare you away with an angry expression. He doesn't look all that scary, although his armor was definitely crafted by a competent blacksmith.
More of us this little not. And snel down up smith Moskva. I guess not serve. Let's have a voice for the we need up. Smash the back island up. I came is the long side. In the last toys. One worst. Worst of what is never.
You give him the coins. He pockets them quickly and disappears. You're left there alone, and you don't feel blessed. You can't tell whether the thing you're looking at is a statue or a weird spawn. It has the posture of a man, but it's made of thousands of sparkling gems. It speaks with a gravelly voice. It looks like the only parts of it not made of gems are its eyes. The eyes are still round and human.
Let's have a voice for the we need up. Smash the bad I know of it. Nothing. Schön ist damit live. The whole world is Zimmer. Ich gut da. Und ich heb die Fitz an. Weil es nur in einem Herz ja als es sich narben auf mir. Laser the more now Fadina. Snakesna. Still have more of us this little knot. And still steady over but get me out to a store no we're and feel a bit of one. Give me like you.
find an elderly archer sitting near a small fire. He tends the flames with care and tenderness.
Oh, a visitor. I haven't seen a friendly human face for a long time. It's getting lonely out here.
With a gesture, he invites you to sit with him.
Beautiful, isn't it? The question shouldn't be who I am, my friend. The question should be who I was. Because right now, I'd say I'm pretty much nobody. Not much. I tend to the fire and watch over this place. Since I failed to fulfill my task, I need to sit here and watch the fire. I don't want to, but I have to. I'm certain something terrible will happen if I stop. Well, that's definitely a story for another time, but I do appreciate you asking.
As you sit by the archer, you notice that this fire doesn't behave like a regular fire. It has the power to push weirdness away, just like a menhir or a weird candle. Moreover, you suddenly notice that the man's legs are rooted into the ground with blue veins. The veins stretch from his feet into the fire pit. You form a question in your mind, but when you look into the man's eyes, you realize there's no point in asking it. His gaze is absent, and his movements are barely noticeable. You decide to leave it for another time and turn your eyes towards the fire. The flames flicker with a weird, magical rhythm. Within the darkness, you hear a familiar voice.
Finally, now we can start the cycle of proper rebirth.
A different voice appears out of nowhere, and its owner is nowhere to be seen.
Be gone.
It is calm, inhumanly calm.
Can I invite you to the table?
You see a hooded figure waiting for you by the table. A chessboard sits upon it, the game in progress. As you take the free chair, you realize the creature has no face. A white skull leers from the shadows of the hood, a human skeleton draped with robes.
I admit, I'm not used to showing up in person whenever people die. That's too much hassle with adjusting my presence to your current imaginations and whatnot. But let's say that your case is special. Yes. And yes to that other question, too. You're technically dead, but there are certain things that prevent you from, let's say, being properly gone. Recent events had consequences going beyond the intentions that sparked them. And now we're stuck in this unfortunate predicament because time, as you know it, is irreversibly corrupted. The past and the future are happening at the same time. All that you see is an echo of things that already happened or eventually will, presented without inherent sense, without purpose, without any logic.
You see 4 figures on the board changing shapes into forms of beasts, and a moment later, they dissolve into dust.
You must slay the Guardians and keep slaying them until you reach the source, conjuring them out of the weirdness. Their deaths will make you stronger. This will lead you to your destination.
this. Right now, this. As you approach the blacksmith, you hear him angrily mumbling to his anvil.
I swear on my name, one day he'll pay. Oh, it doesn't matter. Not at this point. Now I'm here and happy. It's just an old habit of mine.
His eyes say otherwise. Something is clearly on his mind.
It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you've invited me to your village, and I can now hammer away in peace and safety. You're not giving up, are you? Fine, fine. I'll tell you. I really loved me village and me people. When the army marched through our lands, I thought the All-Mother herself had blessed me. I got a contract to forge soldiers' weapons. But something went wrong. The weapons weakened instead of getting harder. So the army blacksmith accused me of treason. They didn't hang me because my people demanded a fair trial. But there was no time for one, so the army burned down me workshop and told me to leave. I had no choice. It was that or the noose. This anvil is the one thing that survived the fire. No, I don't care about that. It was so long ago. It's just a habit of mine. Whenever I work on weapons, I like to get angry. And then I force myself to care. And you get the gist. My only regret from those days is that I didn't get the chance to say goodbye to me beloved Silence.
He quickly realizes that a question is forming in your mind.
Silence.
His eyes sparkle as he starts to tell the tale.
She was the most beautiful person I have ever met. We would only meet at night, near the water. She didn't speak, true, but we understood each other very well. I miss her every day. So please, forget what I told you considering the other blacksmith and all that treason. It really doesn't bother me anymore. But Silence, if you ever meet her, please tell her I'm here. If she wants to join us, I promise I'll take care of her. I'd be glad to have someone to talk to besides me anvil.
is just a lost soul, wandering between clouds of weirdness with a fading weird candle in his hand. His eyes light up when he sees you. You notice that he is not actually looking at you. He's looking at your candle.
Thank gods! Mine's almost out. Do you have more? Please, if you don't help me, I'm done for. I have to find them. They're somewhere. I know it. I can feel it. And I need to be there. To be by their side, now. Thank you. I promise to make...
He continues with his search. Charms and offerings around it. The legends say the Stag Father takes the dreamers away to join him on a great hunt. The ringing sound of clashing swords grabs your attention as you walk through the weirdness. You approach, but you find a campsite instead of a bat. Several men drink mead, as if nothing of note was happening around them. Others battle monsters, and something about the movement and behavior of these beasts seems strange, until you notice a druid chanting something near the campfire. found what was protected by this beast, a stash of gold and jewelry. When you filled your pockets up to the brim with gold, 3 ethereal chests materialize in front of you. Bringing your hand towards one of them causes the others to shimmer and blur. holds one weapon in his hand and has one weapon on his back. This strikes you as a bit excessive, unless he's a traveling weaponsmith. The blood covering his leather jerkin is not his own. It seems he can take care of himself.
Before you get any stupid ideas, I used to be a master-at-arms at Halfway. Trained many young warriors there. If you've gold to spare, I could teach you a thing or two.
approach the tree, it seems to shift and move. You draw closer, and suddenly you realize why the tree appears to be moving. Dozens of rotting bodies dangle and sway in the breeze. It looks like a strange dance with their necks nodding along in their nooses. Something falls out of one of the corpse's pockets. You catch it just before it lands on the ground. Is dressed in rags. Fragments of manacles and chains dangle from his wrists. He doesn't greet you as you approach. He does not speak, nor does he beg for his life. He just looks at you with a blank stare. Suddenly he grabs a sword, but you feel no threat in his movements. He makes a gesture, inviting you to train with him.
What am I doing here? Well, looking for resources, obviously.
Good day, stranger. Are you in need of some guidance?
It's a question asked by an eerie yet elegant woman who's just appeared in front of your eyes. She's of indiscernible age but looks strangely disturbing, standing peacefully within the weirdness.
You can withdraw the course of your destiny and change the fate of your future fights. Come closer and see for yourself.
notice something strange. At first it looks like a glowing ball of light, but with every step you take towards this phenomenon, it feels familiar, yet disturbing. You see a bird. You're close enough now to see the light fading away, leaving you face to face. It's hard to say if it used to be a human, an animal, or some other being native to this land. Right now, it looks like a giant mass. You try, yet nothing in your body works. You can feel your strength dissipating and You made it. The monstrosity oozes back.
Solvalknotter.